Yeah.
Now it says live on Facebook.
Live again. My God.
We're live now. Great.
Oh, you can view the stream on Facebook.
Yeah. Can you see it now, Shak?
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Can you see me?
Facebook.
Yay!
There's a bit of a lag, but
Okay.
I ain't got it. What's going on?
What if we look good, Shak? That's the most key thing. That's your main job now for the next half an hour.
30-second delay though. That's cool.
Oh, that's good. Okay, cool. So we might not have caught Raz's focus film up there. Great. So we're just talking about the play that we're all doing, and we're really excited to be sharing with everyone. You know, we're so excited to be back in the theatre, and you know, I'm so excited to be working with these brilliant actors. This is Osman and Razak Osman and Shak Benjamin. Good to see you guys. So press night tonight.
Yeah.
And Shak, this is your first press night, isn't it?
Yeah, first press night. So I'm excited to see how it all works and what the critics and press think. And but yeah, it's another audience, new performance, new day. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So how have you found the previews? What's it been like having a real live audience?
It's been crazy. It's been great. We performed it so many times in front of just like you and our assistant director Matt and stage manager Joe, just our little team.
Yeah.
And then when you have like 40 people, and some of them that I knew, it was great. And hearing laughs and interactions and gasps and round of applause, it's like, wow, like people actually engaged. And that's great. That's all you want, really. You want people to be engaged.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feel from it. So. Yeah,
and this is your first theatre show ever, isn't it, Shak?
Yeah, right? First debut. So
amazing. I was so excited. Great.
Yeah, exciting.
And Raz, you're obviously seasoned hand, but you know, we've all had a year off. So I mean, what's it like to be back?
It's brilliant. I'm actually in a room with people that I could, you know, creatives in a room doing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's actually happening. I still, even though we've done what now, two, three previews.
Yeah.
It's still kind of surreal. I'm still a bit like, right, is this actually happening? Like,
yeah, no, it does feel surreal.
A year ago, and I remember we got that email. I was like, I'm not sure this is going to come back.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. I mean, the King's Head have been amazing, actually, because they have kept afloat and they've done really well. And it's part of doing these lunchtime talks, actually. They've kept that going the whole time. Wow. I mean, I've had 2 or 3 of them, but every Thursday, the whole year. Yeah. They've had people come and talk and people talking about writing and directing and putting on your own work. And then now, of course, they were so excited that they could put on this show. We were meant to start rehearsing, and we're the first show to open the theatre again, which is very cool. Yeah. And it's not quite the theatre, is it, guys? So do you want to tell people what it is?
It's a shop unit in Islington Square.
Yeah.
It literally is like a concrete box that kind of looks like a car park.
Car park, yeah.
Yeah, it's in that.
These blocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there's pillars and, you know.
Yeah.
I think what happens when we started talking, because I do a lot of immersive work in caves and castles and sort of site-specific stuff specifically, I suddenly said, why don't we just be out in an underground car park, place set in an underground car park? If we're having COVID problems, this was in December, I said, do you think we should just try and do it in a car park somewhere? So the team sort of went out to look for an actual car park, and then somehow they found this unbelievable space next to the King's Head Theatre in Islington, literally next door, in this incredibly posh shop units, this new whole thing. And it's in fact where the new theatre, King's Head Theatre, is going to exist next year, I suppose. But in these shop units, you walk in the door and think, God, it's going to be really, what is it? And then it was breeze blocks and pillars. So it actually looked like a car park. So we were like, oh my God, this is perfect. And you know, we've got a brilliant production team, Richard there, Lambert, who just totally transformed it with Saoirse Corson, our director designer, into this incredible space with like car park signs and white marks on the floor, and you know, and then created this incredible scaffolding car made out of scaff, which is so cool. So the audience are in the car park with us, so it does feel like a really exciting new thing, and there's sounds, it's echoes, and guys, one of the questions. Yeah, there's a question. Say the question.
Question for all of us: what's been the greatest challenge about working on this project?
What's been the greatest challenge? That's a good question, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to take that one first.
Oh, okay.
Aileen?
Working with these two. How's that? Greatest challenge, you know, it's, I suppose you could say time, but I don't know. The time has felt really good, actually. Not sure. It's been, I don't know. Isn't that funny?
Do you know what? I think I have one.
Have one, lads. Have one. Yeah.
It's adapting to the COVID.
I was about to say COVID.
Yeah, situation, like the whole, you know, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this.
That's what it was.
All the workarounds where we just take for givens, like we just like, oh yeah, of course, yes, we'll do that. And it's like, actually, no, you can't do that. It's like,
yeah. The instructions in the script that normally were really basic things, wasn't it? We're like, are we allowed to do that? Can we just check? Are we allowed? Are we allowed? Everything's not we allowed, which is very weird in a theatre permission-free environment. It's quite weird.
Yeah.
But I think we work with it really well, because you see them as extra given circumstances that you now have to just be truthful and exist within. But that's a really good point to do with smoking and to do with handing props over, and you know, obviously we're being really COVID secure, and we have loads of hand sanitizer, and we're hand washing, and we're testing, and the audience interestingly get tested temperature checks when they come in, which is quite good. And they're all masked up. But what's it like playing to them? Because everyone looked quite relaxed in their masks, I thought, actually. But was it weird seeing them in masks, or could you not even see them, I suppose?
It's funny because the first night I didn't even see that they had masks on. And then I was like, oh yeah, we had our masks on, and I was like, oh, did you?
Yeah.
Because when they stood up to clap, I thought they just put them on. At the end, and I thought you had them on throughout the whole show. Wow.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, even that's weird, but I can't even see the audience. So
yeah, no, cool.
I didn't. I can't see that.
No, it's funny. And they're all very organised, because they come in and they're in the little bubbled seating, and it's amazing to sit. Because I sit at the back, and you really see that you're in a theatre with a whole massive audience there.
Yeah.
So the question here, Aileen, can you tell us a bit about the Gonsalves Method and how that has informed the rehearsal process for No Strings Attached? Yeah, definitely. So I've developed my own process called the Gonsalves Method. And actually I've got a book, which I might just flash to the screen, not ready to see. Here it is. So this is Shakespeare and Meisner, which is the book I've just written about Shakespeare. And it's a Bloomsbury and Arden book. You can find it in a moment. But I've been developing this method for about 15 years. It's rooted in Meisner, the Meisner technique. And I've spoken about it before on the King's Head thing before. And the absolute joy of this job for me is to work with two actors who are so open and willing to try this different way of working, which involves a horrific way of learning lines, which they totally embraced and went for, because it's all uninflected line learning. So this is a real modern text, you know, it's a new play, and the language is fantastic, because there's lots of stuff in there that is particular to London, particular to the Black community in London. There's lots of language, and it's fast paced, and there's like slash lines where they have to cut in on each other. To learn it is another thing, uninflected, because, you know, you cannot, it's longing for you to speak it, I'm sure, in a certain way. And I'm making these actors speak it, as I do with Shakespeare, which is even worse, completely uninflected, no inflections. How did you find that? So that's the first stage of the process, first of all. What's that like to do? That's new for you, Shak, I know. It must have been bizarre.
Yeah, no, it was very weird at first. So one of the first stages was reading it monotone like a robot. And then the weirdest part was doing it up and down a scale. So in terms of pitch, up and then down and up and down. But no, in the end, it's really helpful, because it's the thing of if you can't get that right, then you don't know the lines as well as you think you do.
Yeah.
So I found that when I learned it in up and down the scale, as soon as I started to say it in normal tone, it should just flow out.
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Just the idea behind it is that if you learn it uninflected, you haven't got any patterns.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's totally available to you. This text is available to your brain when it needs to speak. And the only reason it needs to speak is in response to the other actor. So suddenly the whole method is rooted in the idea that you can't say ouch until you've been pinched. That common thing, acting is reacting.
Yeah.
Actually, how many of us actually do that? I mean, the trust required to actually put your performance into the other actor's hands. Because that's what acting is reacting means. It's up to the other person. So when you've got two actors here and they're both doing that, which they really are, it's a very exciting thing to watch, because you are dependent on each other up there. You must feel that, you know, and there's a whole series of things to do with given circumstances. So we look at objectives, and we look at tactics and preps, and, you know, imaginary situations that you'd all recognize, actors who are listening to this, but it's very specifically rooted in the other person. So it's not about how do I create my stuff, what do I do on my own. You're actually looking to the other person all the time, and in response to them. You know, your life's dependent on them, your objectives dependent on them, which makes for very exciting viewing as director, because you watch going, wonder what they're going to do today. You know, there's so much that is fixed, and there's so, like, the lines are fixed and religiously learnt, but also the blocking, and there are set pieces, and there's all sorts of things are fixed. That's fine, that's theatre, that's great. The great joy and the glorious challenge is being within all these constraints, but moment to moment, nobody in the theatre, and this is the cool thing, including the actors, me, Joe, the stage manager, don't know exactly what is going to happen next. That's very rare. And so it's fun for you guys. I mean, I watched last night going, oh, okay, very good. You know, but it must be exciting, because all three previews have been, of course, as this process always allows, completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the same in many, many ways, but they're different. It's alive.
Yeah.
You know, how's it been for you, Raz? Because you've worked a bit with me before on this, but this has been particularly brilliant, quite frankly, I'm going to just say, in how working with Shak. And you've been really, I think you've 100% done it on this one, which you've never quite had the chance to do before.
Yeah, it's been super interesting, you know. Like, it's completely different to how I usually learn lines. I usually learn lines by, like, thoughts, but, like, I try and link it, but then obviously if something changes, then it can throw you off if you don't know it well enough. But this really makes sure you know your lines well enough, and obviously, you know, that's what I took it for. And yeah, I do you know what, I just, like you said, I just committed. I literally just was like, you know what, let me just do it. Like, let me just do it. But no, it's definitely paid off. It's really, it just works, isn't it?
Yeah, it really works.
Yeah, it just works. You know, getting, like, making sure that you're, like, that's the sort of way I work anyway. Like, because obviously you've taught me before. Yeah, I've taken that with me, and that's one of my philosophies in acting, as you know already, where you literally only respond from what they're doing. So if they don't do nothing, and you ain't got a reason to do something, then that's fine, because you ain't got a reason to do something. Until they make you do something, then you do something. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're trying to make them do something for you to get what you need, then, you know. But yeah, it's been really good, actually, and it's worked. You know what I mean?
It feels like it so works, but the cause and effect nature of the method is so brilliant for this play. I mean, I think it's brilliant for all plays, and because I mainly do it with Shakespeare, the joy for me to do it on something that is not Shakespeare for once, and is two people sat in a car. I mean, you kind of go, God, what's going to happen? That sounds a bit dull, but you then realise when it's so alive. I mean, the audience are not moving a muscle. I'm sat behind them, and I clicked my pen last night, and I was like, it was so loud, this enormous click of my pen. I thought, oh God, because nobody's moving. And I mean, I've always not understood why we watch tennis so avidly in sport, football. I've always thought, why isn't theatre like tennis? You know, we should watch it like tennis, like we cannot move because we don't know what's going to happen next, what's happening. You know, that is, I think theatre should be like sport. It should be that exciting. But the problem why it isn't is because the actors know what's going to happen next. Yeah. But you two literally don't, do you?
No.
You don't want to know. You're not interested in knowing what that's the next moment, isn't it? It's really moment to moment theatre is what you get then. And the lucky audience then are in that moment with you. So that's very rare. You know, they feel what you feel. They genuinely go through it because you're not acting going through it. You're actually going through it. So it's an interesting difference.
Yeah, completely. I look forward to it as well. It makes it exciting for me. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it enjoyable. Like, coming in every day to do a play that, you know, okay, this line I'm going to say it like this. It will become boring. Yeah. So, and it, you know, gives it air to, you know, to just have fun. I feel like acting should be fun. I'm like, if I didn't want to, it just makes it fun. If it wasn't fun, I'd probably be an accountant or something, innit? Yeah, but exactly. You know, accountants are great. We need accountants. Accountants are great. But this is fun.
And acting is fun though. I mean, that's the biggest philosophy of me is I scream it all the time in auditions. Acting is it really is fun. There's so much other crap around acting, but when you are acting, it's just a joy. And playing, the play that it's hilarious. Matt Strachan, who's our assistant director, he's the fellowship person on the King's Head program, training director program, and he sits over there. We're all in our masks watching, and I spend most of the show just going, look what they're doing now. Look, we're so distracted by just the fact you've just done something cool. And then he thinks I'm trying to note him, and he realized I'm trying to just say, isn't that good? God, look at that. It's hilarious. Because it's just so cool, because it's so unexpected to us what you're doing. Because, and to you even more excitingly. And you think, how can this all be in this one set of words? But it's because the real philosophy of the work is what's going on under the words. What's going on in that connection between the actors. That life that's going on between you, that thing that all of us in life can't get hold of. Suddenly we can feel, and you're totally affected by the audiences. That's what's really cool. Their gasps, and when they laugh, or if they suddenly really feel that stillness. It's really interesting to watch you lot responding to something that you can't quite read, but in the audience. So, yes, it's because they co-create the shows with us, don't they? Audiences. They're not a dead thing. And actually, we've realized that this year when we've done a lot of live shows. I do now a lot of with my company, I do a lot of online shows now, but they're not live. It's a very different feeling. There's another question there, Shak.
What were the considerations around staging a show completely set in a car?
I feel like that's an amazing question.
I'm just always talking. Saoirse, I decided to answer this, but it's like, what do you do? They're just stuck in a car. It's about sight lines, but it's also about where do they look? Is it in a car? Where do we look? And then can you look at the other actor? Can we spend the whole play looking at each other? Meisner's notoriously a technique that people think is about connecting with your eyes, which it isn't. But that's always a real tricky thing about that. And what was interesting is you just can't. You're looking out, in a car, the audience are there. But those moments that you choose to look at each other are interesting. I think for you guys, I've been really impressed by the fact how disciplined you are at staying within the confines of the car, with your elbows and stuff, with the bits that stick out of you, your knees. And what was that all like? And then playing how to mime or not to mime. That was interesting. That decision.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's in the back of your mind, like, if I put my elbow out too much, it's gonna come out the car. Or
it does.
I remember once in rehearsal, glasses flew off, went outside the car, and I was
that was hilarious. And we all pretended we couldn't see it. We were like, what's happening? Let's pretend that didn't happen. So funny. That was so weird because you see, after a while, you literally see the car. The other day, Shak stood up, and I went because I thought he'd banged his head on the roof of the car. Because your imagination is totally now formed a car on the stage. It's amazing. You realise what theatre is. It's so magical, isn't it? We all just went, oh, God, he's banged his head.
I think I realised that. It's just kind of just a theatre reference. Everything's got to be theatrical and bigger, but especially in a car. When you speak in the car, it's just kind of just like head to the right, speak.
Yeah, that's really true.
Gesture to the audience, gesture to them. Even though it's still a small space, use it all. Use as much as you can.
Yeah, because of course, what's interesting, it's tiny, as you're saying, but the audience is quite far away. It's a really big space. They found a brilliant space, and they're on a rake, so they're not near. So actually, you have to be able to be heard really clearly at the back, as usual. But now you're actually just chatting in a car.
Yeah.
So you've both been doing that really well. I've been really impressed. But I don't know if you had to think that through in any way to do that. But it's tricky.
I think so. Yeah, for me, I had to definitely adapt to it because, like knowing that you're not just chatting you just need to be heard, isn't it? Yeah. And sometimes you can fall into, I'm just talking to the guy next to me. Do you know what I mean? And really, all that matters is once he hears me, that's fine. But then you're like, no. This is actually a performance. This is entertainment that people actually need to see. Yeah. As much as, as actors, I keep saying that word. As myself, I do feel like, you want to fall into this, or it's nice to fall into this indulgent feeling of just, two people chatting. But you're like, no, this is entertainment that people need to see. So people do need to hear it. And that sort of needs to be in your brain at all times.
Yeah, that you're sharing the story is really is always the thing. And again, this is what the live theatre experience is, isn't it? And we've forgotten live audiences. Suddenly they troop in to watch this and sit down, and you're like, wow, they want to hear this. And then when they first laugh, it's always a bit of a shock, isn't it? And we all go, oh, what's happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're even surprised about stuff they laugh at.
Yeah.
I've definitely found that. I've been like, oh, I didn't know that scene was funny. But you take on, absorb it.
Yeah. And what's interesting, of course, and really useful is you realise in this way of working that because it is different every night, the audience laugh at different points every night. You can't recreate laughs. And it's the thing about letting go of that laugh and thinking, well, that laugh has happened because it was that night with that audience.
Yeah.
Moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes us all much aware just for our lives of the moment generally and going, oh, this is a unique moment with this. We're making this play this night in this moment with these people. And that's why that happened. So then the following night you go, yeah, what's going to happen now? Don't know? So it's quite a nice feeling that. I mean, we're getting great audiences, I have to say. I mean, it's sold out pretty much this week, but there's 2 more weeks. It's till June the 19th. So it's great. It's got a lovely long run here. So, we're really hoping people come and get themselves back in. I know people are booking at the moment. So,
it's definitely.
Oh, 3 more weeks. Look at that. King's Head there, 3 more weeks.
Correction.
Oh, good correction there from the King's Head Theatre. That's pretty cool. That's the director, so he has no idea. I'm like, yeah, I'm like counting down the time today.
I mean, I've lost all sense of time since lockdown.
Oh,
like, how long is a week?
Yeah.
No. So confused all the time. In fact, it's been really weird because we've had to be on time, back to have it. We've been a structure again suddenly.
Yeah.
We've got to catch trains to get us to rehearsals on time.
Yeah.
That literally is so new. That's the first time I got on a train was our first day of rehearsals. Wow. So that was really weird. That was really weird.
Yeah.
So that's been interesting. And just getting a train at home at night and going, I don't think I've been out in the evening and wandered about because it's been so fun. But you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, it's really interesting watching London re-emerge slowly coming out and be doing a play is so cool. I'm so excited that we're one of the first theatres doing it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And that completely resonates. Because when I have travelled, it's usually odd times. So I'm not really, in rush hour. But now that we're in sort of working times, I'm now seeing station control. Like I'll be in Stratford and they're telling me I can't go out this exit, and I'm like, what? You talking about? Yeah. So it's been strange. It's been strange. I'm like, right, it's really, things are coming back.
Oh, another question.
Yeah, they are coming back.
When it comes to the show, what are you most proudest of?
That's easy for me to answer. Completely you two actors. Beyond proud. I'm proud to be working with you.
Lying.
Good was that. I mean, I sit there every day going, oh my God, I'm so proud that they have been so brave to work in this process and then be benefiting so much from it and be so playful. And I'm so proud of seeing you just flourish and grow every day. So far, you're like, wow, okay, great. What's going to happen tomorrow? That's mine. That's me. That's what I'm proudest of. You too.
Thanks. Do you know what? I'm just proud that it's happened. To be honest, I'm proud that everyone's managed to come together and actually make it happen. I'm really proud of that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very proud that someone felt it would have been very easy to just be like, oh, you know what? Let's just scrap last season and just start something.
That's what I assumed is going to happen. Yeah, so it's amazing when they really have fought to get this on the King's Head. Adam, when he was the head there, he really championed this play, and he really championed Charles Ency, the writer, who won the Adrian Pagan Award for this play. And so they're really, really excited about it. But I have to say, Heather and the whole team have been the whole way have been in touch and stayed in touch and gone, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing. I was like, wow, this is actually really wanting to do this.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's so important to play actually as well. It's got such an important story and message, which we haven't spoken about much here today, but it's such a rare thing, this story, that they wanted to absolutely put it on.
Yeah.
What about you, Shak?
I'm really proud of the writer, Charles Ency. It's so funny. We don't see him a lot, like barely ever. Like he's kind of just pops in and he's like, and honestly, so much credit to him. He wrote this brilliant piece about real people and a real story about London that I know. And at age 20, and now he's off to RADA, and his plays being displayed for a 4-week run.
I know, it's major.
It's incredible. So yeah, I'm really proud of him. He's done a great job. Amazing job.
Oh, that's a great thing to say, Shak. Yeah, Charles is brilliant. I think he's 25. We were teasing him the other day, and we made him like 19 when I first met. But yeah, I think he's 25. Was it 23? We were just all discussing it the other day. But you know, he's just got into RADA, so he's on the 3-year acting course at RADA. So we're all really excited about that for him. So he's got no time. It's hilarious. He hasn't got time to come in. So he's fleetingly come in and give us very good notes, actually, to be fair, when he does come in. So that's fab. But yeah, and we're going to see him tonight. We're going to all be reunited tonight in the press night. So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been a really interesting team sort of effort, really, this, and it's felt like a really great little gang. And I think Raz is right, because, you know, not only did they manage to get the show on, which is one thing, but this real perseverance at trying to find the space. You know, because what was exciting about this space is it means it's COVID secure and it's slightly out to more space, and so it's meant that even if things had gone wrong in lockdown, this was the issue, maybe they'd go back again and we wouldn't be allowed out, and it would still have gone ahead because it's a bigger space than a normal, you know, theatre space, and so they really had to really work at securing that space. And so I think they're really excited about that, because it is very cool. I have to say, the venue is very, very cool. What are we calling it? The Ignition Room, I think, or something, isn't it?
Ignition Room, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, look, there's a yes from King's.
Yes.
Yes. You're like, yes, thank you for getting that right. Very good. Yeah. So I think it is exciting when theatre's done in spaces, you know, that you say that it can be done anywhere. Got to always remember that, you know, with the whole lockdown thing. What did we all do? Online shows. You know, I do love artists. They're amazing resilience this year, and amazing adaptability of just going, what are we doing? What have we got? Right, what's at our disposal? Oh, a computer. Okay, great. Let's do online shows. Yeah. You know, I think, and now it's great just to go, right, what have we got at our disposal? Everything again. Right, what are we going to do? You know, I mean, I'm excited about seeing where theatre is going to go, having had this year of reflection.
Yeah,
it's exciting because surely we've had time. I know individually people have really stopped and thought about what they want to do and what work they want to make and what they want to say. And that's what's exciting. Theatre is now saying something. This play is saying something about, you know, gay men in the Black community. That's not a story that's often told, I don't think. So, you know, it's really important on all of us to say stories that haven't been told, hear people's voices that are hidden, you know, get them out there. You know, and it is exciting to be part of that. I mean, I had this really amazing experience on the tube the other day. I was coming back, and it was quite late, and there was this young Black kid on the tube, and I looked at him and I thought, my God, that's like boy. I mean, he literally was boy. I thought, it was such an amazing moment, because I thought, wow, and I cannot look at that kid now and not realise there's a whole life behind him that I don't know about, but because you've made Shak, you've made boy, and Raz the same as made man, so three-dimensional human beings. I thought that's actually a little amazing thing, isn't it? Once you've seen this play, will you be able to look at a Black guy or a Black kid or a Black guy in a suit, or, you know, what you're playing in this play, and think your kind of potential preconceptions?
Yeah.
Can you really? I don't think you can.
Yeah.
I literally just went, God, he might have a whole life behind him like boy does. Because you've made these people human. I think that's what's so important about what you guys are doing on the stage, can I just say? You know, it's a strange thing to say, but, you know, you're making visible and human. Because these characters feel, and they get hurt, and they get angry, and they laugh, and they make fun of you. They're human beings, three-dimensional human beings with issues that we share. And there's such a great section of the street, I won't give it away, where you go, I said last night, I went, God, don't we all feel that, what they've just said in that play just then, that speech at the end there, as I thought, my God, you can see the whole audience, black, white, yellow, green, orange, just going, oh my God, that's my life. And I thought it's interesting, if the play makes this experience of makes you human beings, which you are, but I don't know, it really resonated when I looked at this boy and thought, boy, there's more to you than I just don't know about. And it made me want to know more.
Yeah.
And I sort of felt a kindred spirit, because I thought, oh, I felt what you feel. You're, as actors, are making us feel what you feel. So that's a big part of the Gonsalves method, sort of acknowledging that's the artistry and brilliance of actors. Mm-hmm. You make us feel the emotions that you are feeling in the same moment that you're feeling them. That's what we share, audience and actors. So we've gone through something together. We felt real emotions from these two people that we don't know. I don't get to listen to two black people talking about anything. Apart from you lot talking about some old rubbish, you know, but Nando's, or, you know, where we're going to eat. But, you know, it's just interesting. You get an insight into this world, which has been really, really rare, I think, for audiences and me as well, quite frankly.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely, yeah, I completely agree, man.
Agree. And just in terms of like anyone's life, look at all these people, and it's like you make a judgment. You're like, hold on, the stuff you could be going through, the stuff that could just happen 5 minutes ago, where you're going now.
Yeah.
That you never know anything.
Yeah, I always thought that, you know, when you see people every day, because, you know, you do like a very similar commute, you see the same people get on the train, and sometimes you just think, I wonder what's happening in your life. Like, I wonder what's brought you to this point. Like, you see someone, like, I see like a regular person I see is someone holding these bags, and they get these bags every day.
Yeah.
I wonder where they're going.
I
wonder why they carry those bags.
Yeah.
But I think this play really does touch on something really universal, and I think it's quite special and something we don't often see.
Yeah.
It's why people should come and see it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is Raz's catchphrase. So you're going to be famous about that from the trailer. Just come see it. Just come see it. Just come see it. Oh, brilliant. I think that's probably us at time up, I think, Oscar, is it?
That's time.
Time?
It is.
Maybe we have to just do something while we wait for the... Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's not as good as mine.
Yeah, that's good.
Look at this.
Oh, wow.
On.
What was this on?
What is that?
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah.
No, it was. You have to show me that later. Which one show you my cool thing? You can't do either of you, quite frankly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've got cool things.
I'm going to be the sensible one, yeah?
Yeah.
King's Head's like...
I think we're still live now. We had trouble getting onto Facebook, but now we can never leave.
Yeah.
Oh, look. No Strings Attached is on until 19th of June, and tickets are available at www.kingsheadtheatre.com.
Blah!
Come see it.
Definitely come see. You've got 3 weeks. Don't miss it. Do book. It's booking very fast.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you there. Do come. It's really, really great show.